The Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has announced that he will retain his seat in Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh and has given up Wayanad in Kerala, where his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will make her electoral debut. Rahul Gandhi has said in a message to the people of Wayanad that they will have 2 MPs and assured his support. If Priyanka Gandhi manages to win Wayanad's seat, this will be the first time that 3 members of the Nehru-Gandhi family will be in the parliament at the same time, opening the party to renewed criticism of practicing dynastic politics. What is next for the Gandhi family, and will they be able to make history by having 3 members in parliament? That's the big question. And also joining us to talk more about this is Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's husband, Mr. Robert Vadra. Robert, appreciate you joining us, and thank you so much for taking out the time and speaking with us. The first question is, first up, of course, congratulations. I'm sure it's a much awaited and thought through discussion and decision. The obvious question is, why do you think now is the right time?
There's no right time, or it's always been there. My whole thought is that she's worked really hard, and she's on the ground making all the difference, and I've always thought that she should be in parliament. And since Rahul fought from two areas, I mean, he felt definitely he'll have to give up one area, so obviously constituency. So there would be no better candidate than Priyanka to complete his vision and dream for Wayanad, and that's why I think Priyanka will be the right candidate to be in parliament from Wayanad.
Mr. Vadra, what was the thought, according to you, behind picking Wayanad and not Raebareli?
It wasn't a thought or decision. It was Rahul thought, I mean, it's a good idea for Priyanka to be in Wayanad, and it's not that he's never going to be there, or he's never going to be in Wayanad. He can be there, and Priyanka can be in UP, so it's like, they can keep moving around and making sure that whatever the needs of the people are in both the areas are completed, and what is needed can be completed there.
And Mr. Vadra, why did Priyanka Gandhi, choose not to contest the elections that happened last month? A lot of people were speculating.
Because she had to campaign everywhere around the country, and she had to be in every corner of the country. And definitely when Kishori Lal was in Amethi and Rahul was in Raebareli, so she campaigned there for 10 days or 12 days, and then the rest of the time she helped with different states and different areas, and her need was to be everywhere, not only in one area. So that's why she didn't fight the election.
All right, Mr. Vadra, how are Rahul and Priyanka working together as a team, and how is that going to have more impact?
As one team, that's it. Yeah, exactly. As one team, they'll work as one team, and they have the similar vision and same efforts, and they learnt well together from their Dadi and their father and Mrs. Gandhi, and they know what the Congress requires and what the people of the country need. So they are one team, and they have one vision, and they are together on this mission.
Mr. Vadra, certain people are also of the view that Priyanka will overshadow Rahul one way or the other. Do you think that's the case?
Not at all. They both are individuals, and they both have their own qualities, and they will both work together, and they'll advise each other, and they'll ask each other, and I think they'll work as a team, and nobody's going to outshadow either of them. This is my own experience, this is my own understanding to this.
Mr. Vadra, would you personally like Rahul to be taking on the role of leader of the opposition?
Very much so, because I've known him as my brother-in-law as well as a friend, and I know he's committed to whatever he does, and he'll be very, very good when making decisions for the country. and making sure that whatever the BJP government is deciding, he will definitely counter it in a way that is for the people, that the benefits go to the people and not to their own businessmen friends.
Mr. Vadra, what about your plans? Are you also planning on contesting elections at some stage?
That time has gone by now. We have a few years, I won't say 5 years for BJP, the third term, I'll say maybe 2 years or 3 years. So it's not too long, and I'll be working hard as I always do for the people and do whatever my understanding. And it's good I get more time to organize myself for the next election, and I'll partake it then. I mean, I don't need to get into a bipole or any other reason. I'll wait my time out and I'll fight the next election.
Mr. Vadra, how's the family taking it? You have grown-up children now. I'm sure they have an opinion about this.
They're very happy about it. They're very happy to see her, to see their mother, and I'm very happy to see my wife in Parliament. First, we have to win an election, and then she should be in Parliament, and we are very happy about it. It's all her hard work can be done in a bigger way, in a magnified way, in a way when she's in Parliament, and she can raise the issues of the people and issues of whatever is happening in the country in the Parliament, and it's much better. That's the designated place for her is the Parliament for sure.
Mr. Vadra, though I already know the answer, but I still will ask you, do you think that Priyanka Gandhi has it in her to be a future Prime Minister?
That depends on the people of the country and the Congress party and whatever is required, but definitely she has the qualities of being a leader at a large scale as well.
Mr. Vadra, before we let you go, last question. Do you see any weakness or weak points with the Modi government at this juncture?
The coalition that they have is the weakest point. That Nitish ji and Naidu ji are not people who are erstwhile or their foundation being with the BJP. They are known to maybe move or be disappointed very quickly. So the weak point is to keeping their coalition together.
Mr. Vadra, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us. Thank you so much. All right, at this point in time, we are joined by Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, BJP leader. Priya Sehgal, editorial director of NewsX, is also with us on the program. Mr. Mittal, in fact, I'm going to start with where Mr. Vadra left off. He said that the weakest point or the chink in the armor of this government is, of course, the coalition setup. He also, of course, alluded to the fact that it's full of partners that are unpredictable and perhaps selfish to some extent, as they've been in the past. How do you respond to that?
Should I be responding to Mr. Robert Vadra?
No, just respond to the thought. If not to Mr. Vadra.
Yeah, just because a person who's irrelevant to the Congress and irrelevant to the polity of this country does not really merit a response. But since you've talked about a larger issue about the efficacy of the coalition and whether it's going to be stable, let me assure you that BJP and NDA have a long experience of managing coalitions. So be it NDA 1, be it the last 10 years where in spite of having the majority, we've had coalition and we managed it fairly well. So I don't see how the doomsday seers are ever going to succeed. I mean, they're going to have a, they're going to have a fall from the high pedestal they want to be on. More importantly, you see, this is the natural coalition. It's not a coalition where the principal party has a idly-piddly share of the total number of seats which the coalition has. Having 240 seats is a very sizable number for the leader of a coalition party. So it's far efficient, far more easy, and it's far stabler than the kind of coalitions we have seen in the Congress era, where I still remember one Mr. Madhu Koda, an independent member of the legislation of Jharkhand, was made the chief minister by Congress, or what had happened in Karnataka. So there is a basic what do I say, arithmetic of coalition politics, which is that the coalition must have a natural progression to its existence. So the principal political party of the coalition must be the largest single party. That makes it a very stable coalition. And because this is true for the present government, I do not see any risk whatsoever for the 5 years this government is going to be in power.
Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, what's your take? I know this doesn't concern the BJP, but you obviously have some reservation or some opinion about Priyanka Gandhi coming into this fold and, going to Wayanad to contest elections.
I mean, I was rather amused by the hindsight wisdom of Congress when it was said that had she fought Narendra Bhai, she would have done this and that. Look, when it called for courage, when it called for self-belief, when it called for Shaurya and Parakram, they chickened out. Rahul chickened out from Amethi, and what to talk about fighting from Varanasi, they chickened out from everywhere. Now, she's going to fight from Wayanad, so be it. There is a by-election, and whoever fights from the Congress is their business. Yes, as I said, we've always opposed dynastic politics, and this is a manifestation of that dynastic politics, which is not ideologically doesn't gel with the polity of this country, and it doesn't gel with what we say. Has to be personal, individual based rather than family based politics. But having said so, as I said, so be it. If there is a by-election, if she's fighting, so be it. The mettle of a leader, हिंदी में एक बड़ी अच्छी कहावत है कि जो मुट्ठी बंद होती है वो लाख की होती है, जब खुल जाती है तो खाक की होती है. For far too long, narratives have been built around capabilities which have been untrue. Even today, when you build around a narrative around Rahul Gandhi, what is the narrative? The man he shies away from taking responsibilities because a system in the family has been to have all the authority, no responsibility, no accountability. So it suits. So similarly, as I said, I'm happy that somebody has decided to take up leadership role by now facing and becoming accountable. Let us see what happens.
All right. Let me also, So just hold on to that thought. Let me also rope in Priya, my colleague, into this conversation. Priya, I hope you can hear me. How do you look at this inclusion? Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has for a very long time been slated as that talent which the Congress has failed to utilize. Some people even say that she's perhaps the best Congress president that the Congress never had. And now she's come back into the fold. How is this supposed to be re-galvanizing for the Congress party? And of course, there's also criticism against Rahul Gandhi that he's abandoned the people of Wayanad. It's an opportunity that he's using to instill his sister into this fold so that they have, more of a support of each other in the lower house. What's your take on this, Priya?
Well, Vineet, first of all, he had to give up one seat, whether it was Wayanad or whether it was Raebareli, because he contested from 2 seats. So, otherwise Uttar Pradesh would have said he abandoned that state at a time where the Congress is, making a comeback and inroads. I think that was a sensible decision, a political decision. Though the state of Kerala, even during the peak of the Modi wave, has stood by the Congress. So they had to be, the way the Congress saw it, they had to be a family member there to return that, the loyalty or the bond, keep the bond going. Priyanka's entry into politics, I think the time had come. Her debut in 2019, at the time she joined politics in January, and there were elections in March, April. She was given Uttar Pradesh to deliver. So it wasn't, a so-called planned, choreographed debut the way the rest of her family members have had planned for them. She didn't do pretty well then. She didn't do very well in the assembly elections also. But I think during these elections, Priyanka has been the one discovery of the Congress. She was the star campaigner. She took on Prime Minister Modi Modi, repartee for repartee. I think her comment, because Rahul Gandhi decided that he didn't want to make it a Rahul versus Modi, so he stayed away from entering into a personal contest with him. It fell onto Priyanka's shoulders, and I think she shouldered it well. This whole thing about when he kept talking about कि कांग्रेस घर के अंदर आएगी, मंगलसूत्र आपका सोना सब चुरा लेगी. She's the one who reminded the prime minister, far from stealing Mangalsutra, so her mother had actually sacrificed a Mangalsutra for the nation. It was in terms of politics. I mean, Sudhanshu is a great debater, so I'm sure he won't disagree with me on that one. Emotional content, nationalism, all the checks that are there on a great, comeback speech was there. So Priyanka, she also helped win back the state, the constituency of Amethi. Yes, perhaps it didn't have a straight fight between Rahul and Priyanka, but it was, the slogan in Amethi was that Rahul 2 seat पे लड़ रहा है लेकिन जीतेगा 3, because they made it very personal. They made sure that Kishori Lal won, Priyanka sat and campaigned, and Smriti Irani was defeated by someone she dismissed as a retainer, family retainer. I mean, that was the icing on the cake for that defeat. In terms of politics, it is with hindsight. I think it was an excellent move. At that time, even I was pretty apprehensive, thinking if Rahul or Priyanka had contested, they had a better chance of winning. But the Gandhi siblings proved themselves. Having Priyanka on the house, yes, there will be talk of Parivarvad, which we've heard Sudhanshu say it. But hey, what about the BJP's Parivarvad? I mean, now the BJP, that ship has sailed for the BJP. We've seen A, they've taken all the Congress dynasts into the BJP. B, they have their own flourishing dynasties, the Scindias. They have Rajnath San Pankaj. They have Jay Shah sitting in BCCI. They have Anurag Thakur. I mean, the list is endless at the state level also. So I don't think the BJP can now really turn the tag of Parivarvad. Whether one likes it or not, this is the way the Congress runs. They run on the dynasty. So having the Gandhi siblings on the floor of the house, in terms of the Congress, this is the internal dynamics of the Congress. It's going to be a big morale booster for the Congress. Priyanka Gandhi, Vineet, I disagree with you. She would not be a good Congress president. She is not where Rahul, she's the instinctive politician, but she's also an emotional one. Rahul is more schooled, and for whatever reasons, they seem to have some kind of a system working where Kharge is the face, Rahul takes the decisions, accountability without responsibility. Yes, I give Sudhanshu that point. But after that, having the two siblings on the floor of the house, it's going to, create a mahal, as they say, for the Congress, maybe revive the party much better than an Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary could have done. I've been told Rahul Gandhi is seriously considering the leader of opposition post, which he should, because then, at least he will be responsibility and accountability in one this thing. But even if he doesn't, the two of them on the floor of the house, I think it's going to be great optics. We're going to have some good debates on the floor of the house. We're going to have Priyanka versus Smriti Irani, Priyanka versus the second rung BJP leaders are going to be taken on by Priyanka. So it's going to be a fun optics. It's going to be, at least we're going to see debate and rhetoric in Parliament once again, and that's not just because of Priyanka, but because of the way numbers have stacked up. So I'm looking forward to the Parliament session, Vineet.
All right, great points there. And Mr. Mittal, in fact, taking a leaf out of what Priya said, do you think that ship that Priya spoke of, which has sailed, the Parivarvad angle, the dynasty criticism that the BJP keeps targeting the Congress party with, the BJP itself is perhaps replete with it now, and they need to come up with a new angle as well?
No. We believe in our own strengths, and when we fight politically, we fight politically. So as far as we are concerned, let's also understand, the entire ecosystem seems to be suggesting that it is the Congress which has won and it is the BJP which has lost. Unfortunately, that's not the truth. We are the victim, we are the victors, and they are the vanquished. That's the fact where we stay. Secondly, let's not trivialize the serious issue of Parivarvad. To say Jay Shah, what is Jay Shah to do with Parivarvad in terms of the Indian political system, and having succession not by virtue of your qualities, but by virtue of your lineage?
No, but Sir Priya gave other examples as well.
I'm coming down to each of them. You've talked about Pankaj. What is Pankaj? Pankaj is not a cabinet minister here. Pankaj is not this thing. Pankaj is a mere MLA in UP. That's it. Pankaj is not in a leadership role. So when we are talking about how it happens, and the examples which Priya has given, I mean, I have great respect for her, but I would tend to say this is trivializing. But more importantly, let's come down to brass tacks stuff. As I said, sure, don't let's not say, even if he does not, if Rahul doesn't take the leadership role, then also there's going to be fun optics. No, politics is very serious business. It's not a business of optics. Point is, if you want to assume leadership roles, you can't do this. You can't say, I have been thinking, asking people, आवाज उठाओ नीचे से, फिर मैं सोच के बताऊंगा मैं लीडर बनूंगा नहीं बनूंगा. ये क्या तरीका है भाई? I mean, I have always had this very strong belief that leadership is all about आंख में स्वप्न और पेट में आग. That is when you lead the country. You don't lead the country by virtue of dynasty. Dynasty can give you a position. It can place you at a certain pedestal. But would you be leading the country without a dream, without fire in the belly? Anybody who has fire in the belly and dream in the eye, do you think they will shy away from taking responsibilities? So this easygoing politics of, as I said and what she agreed is, having all the authority, no accountability, no responsibility. Is this the politics this country deserves? No.
But Mr. Mittal, on what basis have you said that Rahul Gandhi has failed to take any kind of responsibility?
I will say he resigned from the Congress presidentship, but as they say, all decisions are taken by Mr. Rahul. He still not has agreed to become the leader of the opposition, but all decisions will be taken by. These are not traits, these are not hallmarks of determined leadership. If the opposition is required, yes, it is required. A strong opposition is required, yes, it is required. But then the leadership of the opposition has to be with people who have committed themselves to the role they're assigned with. The committed role of having the dream for India and having that fire to really achieve that dream through their contribution in Indian politics. These are not seasonal political entities that this nation needs. This nation needs serious politics when it comes to leadership roles. Now, yeah, if you are one of among so many, fair, you may while away your time, do whatever, you may do chintan, you may do manan, you may do whatever. But if you are aspiring, or if your organization aspires to see you in the leadership role, it is a far more serious endeavor which is required and a far more serious responsibility which has to be shouldered. The convenience of politics cannot be the hallmark of a leader who the Congress wants to replace the BJP. Sure, as an opposition, they're entitled to their dreams. But these dreams can get fulfilled.
All right, sir. I'm sure Priya would like to respond to you. So, Priya, do you concur with the fact that, this position of advantage, there is, obviously automatic with belonging to a particular dynasty is not necessarily advantageous unless you actually prove your mettle?
No, absolutely. Any position you have to prove your mettle, Vineet, whether it's a dynastically inherited one, you get to turn once or twice. After that, even Rahul got defeated from Amethi and had to, work his way up. This election has been the way of him working his way back into some kind of a position of authority, I would say. But, Sudhanshu spoke about victor and the vanquished. Yes, the BJP won this election, but the point is that any other time, a third term, not getting a 272, but getting 240 is a big number. It's not a small number. But why the BJP is being seen as one of the vanquished is because it's fallen victim to its own hype. Kisne kata 400 par? Who would raise the bar to 400? Who said 300 par? It is the BJP. The same mistake they made in West Bengal, the same mistake they're making now in this election, which is why, perceptionally speaking, and politics is a bit about perception also, it is about optics. The BJP seems to have lost the battle when actually, as Sudhanshu rightly said, they have won. They are the winners. The second point that I want to make is, yes, the Congress believes in dynasty. It's the same Sonia Gandhi, Manmohan Singh model where remote control is one place and someone is talking. But look at what is happening in the BJP. You're talking about authority. What about misuse of authority? What about ahankar, which your own Parivar has reminded you about, which the Sangh Parivar has come out very categorically. I have not heard Mohan Bhagwat speak in so many words, reminding the government about Manipur, reminding the government of ahankar, reminding about the low rhetoric that had fallen during the elections, and both sides were to blame. He's made it very clear, and the fact that it all rebounded on the आपका भी परिवार है. It's not that the Congress has a parivar to deal with. Even the BJP has a parivar that is not very happy with the current BJP. We are also going to wait and watch. We are talking about the leader of opposition. We are going to be waiting to see who will be the BJP president. And it is one thing to be in power, yes, to take the reins of power, yes. But we spoke in the beginning about this being a coalition. We need the idea of coalition is what Atal Bihari Vajpayee once said, Raj Dharma. Coalition government under Atal Bihari Vajpayee, coalition government under Narendra Modi. Let us see how it works. So far, he's made promising beginnings. It's not been like 2019. He's consulted people before. He went, called up Manmohan Singh, Devi Gowda, Pratibha Patil. This is something Narendra Modi hadn't done in the last round. Maybe he can be a consensus man. I mean, let's not, call him out as just yet. But the Modi that we knew in the earlier two governments was not, we had ministers being just rubber stamps. All the decisions were taken by the PMO. How right is that? There is authority and there is authority. So if Rahul doesn't measure up to the authority and responsibility, the model that Narendra Modi is espousing, is that the right model for the country? The country didn't think so. Under the mandate, the RSS doesn't think so. And unofficially, I'm sure most of his ministers would also concur, though on record, they don't have the guts to say it. So we don't have a good model on either side, Vineet. I know Sudhanshu wants to come in.
Okay,
Let him
all
speak.
right. We've also run out of time. Mr. Mittal, would you like to respond? And of course, the RSS angle and what Mr. Mohan Bhagwat also said, has resonated with the popular perception of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Frankly, if you had gone through the entire speech and the text of what he had said, the conclusions which have been drawn about his talking about Ahankar in the context of the government is wrong, completely wrong.
But no clarification has come from them.
It has. No. Yeah, it has been very, very clearly clarified. If you read the statement of Mr. Sunil Ambekar, who's head of the communication, he's very clearly clarified as to what this statement was. So let's not get into that. Secondly, look, if there is a 240, yes, the people have given us a fractured mandate. If it is a 303, there is a different mandate. I'll tell you the difference. Look, a 303 is a mandate for governance on the agenda and on the manifesto of BJP. A 240 is a manifest is a mandate for a collective manifesto, not the manifesto of BJP. So yes, if it's a fractured mandate, there would be adjustments. Why not? What is paramount is what the people have voted. They have voted and given us a limited mandate. We'll work accordingly.
All right,
because सर्वोपरि है. But Congress को उससे absolve करना of its responsibility is not a very.
All right, sir.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.